Right. So, have we ever kept up with the
I would say yes. I would say yes. In our long time on earth, we've been so old, aren't we? I'll say yes. We've had, because sometimes life puts you in a situation where you ask yourself, like, God, is this it? If you have a conversation with God, that is oh boy.
Lord, I'm grateful, but is there more?
Hello. Welcome back to our channel. Welcome back to our page. It's been a while, hasn't it?
It has been a while. It's been a couple of weeks now.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've had a lot going on. We've had a lot of changing, a lot of
things going on.
Yeah, in our family. Good things, good change, because it's spring. So a lot of things are springing forth in our family. And no, I'm not pregnant again.
No, she's not. But anyway, we're back in your face. So
yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for those sharing our video, watching it, liking it. We appreciate it. So we're back at it again.
Yeah.
So today we want to talk about
keeping up with the Joneses.
The next door neighbor.
So I have my joke, right? You guys better laugh. So someone said you should stop keeping up. Baby, wait.
It's because I know the joke already.
Someone said you should stop keeping up with the Joneses because the Joneses are broke. Because where did they get money to buy a new car, new house? Have we ever kept up with the Joneses?
I would say yes. I would say yes. In our long time on earth, because we're so old, aren't we? I'll say yes. We've had, because sometimes life puts you in a situation where you ask yourself, like, God, is this it? If you have a conversation with God, that is oh boy.
Lord, I'm grateful, but is there more?
Thank you that I'm alive, because you're the one that gave birth. But can I have some money for the boss? Is that too much to ask? But yeah, so we've had situations.
Yeah,
we've had situations where you're like, God, we're not asking for a Bentley. We just want to go to church without getting to church with sweat on. You don't
without
understand.
wearing matching £5 shoes.
Anyway.
Good old days.
Yeah. So I think we've had situations like that. I'm just trying to pick exactly one particular one because there's quite a few.
Mine was in our first year of marriage.
Mm-hmm.
I used to have like a, you know that feeling you have when the Joneses walk past.
Oh.
When you're like, you know, it just rises up in you.
And we say, how are you?
Yeah, or what do you do? You know, it just. So in our first year of marriage, I used to get that whenever I saw someone who had a baby. Or someone who was pregnant. I remember there was one day in church you were playing with someone else's son, and I was just like, oh Lord, like. But then this is all the devil speaking in our ears, because obviously I'm perfectly fine and I have 2 beautiful children. But at that time, there was just something inside me that just made me feel like you don't have a child yet, and it was just there that made me, you know, look at everybody with a child like they're the Joneses sort of thing. So I think I tried that.
Wow, that's I remember when I was playing with that person, by the way, because we had a conversation about it, and I was like, I was just
living life.
I think for me it would be more in the area of finances, or in terms of what do you do. Because that's the conversation with men, and there was a period of time where I was in between jobs for a long period of time. Job center knew me in this period.
Yeah, you're in between jobs at the
job center because I was looking for a job. But you see your friends just comfortably buy Chinese like that, and you're thinking, God, it's nice to buy Chinese as well. I mean, is that too much to ask sort of thing? Or
cars,
or someone say,
we've never really been envious of people's cars and stuff like that, have we?
not cars, but homes. Yes, definitely homes.
Home.
Yes.
Who's home?
Well, when I say homes, I don't mean that we look at someone and we're like, oh, I wish I have your house. But we always wanted to have a nice house so that when people come to visit us, it's like they're doing alright. So,
Yeah.
which is sort of just, so it's not like we've
But
seen.
then we wanted that for ourselves, though.
Well, the other person that wants to
The
catch up with
Joneses.
you.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So who do you want the baby for?
Yeah.
So yeah, we've definitely had that. Like I was saying, with employment for me, when someone says, "No, what do you do?" I'm like, I work in the city. So what I mean by city, they say, I work in Rotherham or I work in Sheffield. But what they've asked is,
what do you do?
But I wasn't comfortable because at the time I was in between job, or I was doing a job I wasn't too proud of at the time. I didn't really want to be associated with. So you hide that, and then you hear your other colleague, they finish their professional qualification, and you're like,
Like, oh.
you go IP.
Like one of our mentors said, oh, that's nice. You go like really high pitch, and the envy like really spews out of you.
Yep.
So yeah.
So I think that describes quite well who the Joneses are.
Who the Joneses are, and the fact that we're all somehow.
Do you think you can try and keep up with the Joneses spiritually?
I think so. But then the thing with spiritually is, whereas if I buy a car from my comfortable earnings, and you buy a car from higher purchase, from your uncomfortable earnings, we both have a car. When they see us outside, we both have a car. However, when it comes to spiritual things, especially when you're on a platform or an altar in front of people, the altar makes you naked.
Yeah.
It exposes what's actually there. So then it becomes obvious who the Joneses are and who the people who are trying to keep up with the Joneses are. Because the thing with spiritual things is we're all individuals.
Yeah.
And God has a part of us of him that is put in each of us.
Yeah.
And by the time you start taking yours off and you start putting the Joneses on, you might not be able to see it, but everyone
can see it. And you know what, it's ugly. It's because what you're saying is making me realize that as people think, you're on the stage, you're high and lofty, and you're untouchable. The reason why you're untouchable is because it's quite ugly. Or better still, it's not understandable because it's the pulpit or the stage really makes you transparent. It really shows all your nitty-gritty stuff. People think, especially for pastors and leaders, they think that if you come to my house, that's when you know how bad I really am. But I think reverse is the case, really.
Because the Bible says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks.
Yeah.
So when you're there, everybody else has no choice but to listen to what you're saying. And because you're constantly speaking, unless you're reading what you perfectly wrote the night before, you're gonna bring.
It's gonna come out. Even if you write it down, record it, pre-record it, do whatever. It's going to come out because life is just like that, and we need to understand something as well, especially for whoever have a spiritual platform or whatever. When you're there, people are not listening to your words; they're hearing what you're not saying. I can't explain it. People are hearing more than the words you use. So you can try to create a picture with the words so perfectly, but we will still hear the things that you don't even know you're saying.
I think the true validation, before we go off the point, the true validation of someone's authenticity, I think is gotten from those closest to well, that says gone from those closest to them, because we lie, don't we? We especially with our spouses, when we love someone, we don't want to hurt their feelings. Yeah.
I have to admit.
Yeah, I can't. My point is invalid.
Well, for being humble about that. All right. So yeah, I mean, I think that for me, I was going to say yes as well. That you can try and keep up with Joneses even in the church or spiritually or at work. And you see that person like, that person is so good. Every time they pray, every time they lay hands. That's where in church you hear stuff like, I want your anointing. You know what I mean? Right?
I can't relate. I've never really wanted anyone's anointing, to be honest. I'm quite comfortable.
Some of us were not born that way. Alright, some of us thought God.
Throw something.
Anything.
Anybody's man. Jonah's man too.
You refer yourself to as Jonah, as John, as Elijah, as Moses, as Abraham, everything. Everything. But anyway, jokes apart. So I think in every aspect of life, financially, educationally, socially, I think socially is probably one of the more, the main
finances. I think being flashy is one of the main things. But then one thing to keep in mind with the Joneses as well. I don't know if you were going to move on to the next.
No, let's talk about it.
Yeah, it was understanding that. Well, I think I'm moving forward to how not to keep up with the Joneses.
Are you okay? Let me say this. I was gonna say this, that sometimes the Joneses helps you to realize that you're not moving at the right pace or the right speed. I don't know if that makes sense. So
it does.
It depends on what you see in the Joneses that makes you either speed up or you just want what they have. So
you're saying there's a healthy way to assess the Joneses.
I completely. You're good.
So it doesn't always have to be from
an
envious perspective.
No,
it could just be a race, like how Mufara runs his races. He's always like looking around him to see. Yeah.
Absolutely. So that's what I was gonna say. I don't know if you have anything you want to say about that, but sometimes you need to look properly, look at what others are doing, look at how they're getting the results, so that when you're doing your thing, not exactly what they're doing, but when you're doing your thing, like, I need to maintain this.
That's true, because even my analogy with the feeling like I was barren, which I wasn't,
clearly.
It gives you prayer points. I guess you can have something to go with the Joneses, and you can be like, I'm a child of God, and the Bible says that if I ask God for bread, He will not give me serpent. If I ask Him for bread, He will not give me stone, fish, serpent. He will not give me that. So, Lord, I would like this. I guess that's what it is. Yeah. If we took everything from the Joneses, we don't know how they got it, but if we went to God, we could get it legitimately. That's
or you can realize that that's empty. For example, we changed our car recently and it's just a car. It's a better car, it's a nicer car and things like that and stuff, but it's just a car. It actually is. It takes you from point A to point B, maybe more comfortable, maybe more flashy, as because it looks nicer.
And also, like, we wanted a garage, and now we have a house with a garage, and it's like, I wish we didn't have a garage. There'll be more space.
There'll be more space in the house. So human nature always wants more. But then when you think about the foundation of everything, it's just
vanity.
It's like 1 to 9, 11 to 19. It's all just 9. It's just numbers. There's nothing complicated about it. But so now that we know what Joneses are, sort of thing, and like I said, we've had up various times in our life where we've kept on with Joneses or tried to anyway. Job, finances, socially, especially when we're not among Christians and they're talking about how they've got this contract and they're starting job there and buying it, like, I'm a Christian. And you go high pitch. Like that. But should we move on to like how you deal with it, because we had a few ways of dealing with it.
Go on, shoot.
For me, the first thing is, I know they say you need to know who you are and stuff like that. I remember when I first met you, the first thing you said to me is like, God told you that He wants me to know who I am or something like that. almost 7 years on, still finding who I am. Can you imagine? Send a word of prayer, if you will. But as time has gone on, especially over the last year or two, I think I've got it. I think I've got at least 60% to 70% of who I am, and that makes me comfortable.
So do you think once you're on a path, because you never fully know who you are, but once you grasp that revelation, keeping up with the Joneses is not as...
I don't even try to keep up with them. If anything, I acknowledge what they have, and if I can't trace it to how, I drop it. I mean, I hear of a friend driving a very, one of the latest cars and everything and stuff like that, and I wondered, how did you get it? And I wouldn't follow that path. I wouldn't follow that example. I wouldn't follow that character. I'm like, well done to you, mate. You're clearly making it work. And I heard of another guy who has a very comfortable job and everything. I see how you've got the latest car and everything. Can't afford that. Well done to you. So yeah, and I found out how I can afford a comfortable car for me and myself, but
that I like
functional for me and my family. That's what drives. I think that's probably the second point for me in how I deal with the Joneses.
I think for me, it's value system, because I really envy someone's shoes or someone's handbag or someone's weave or whatever, because when you educate yourself behind things, like for example, you never see me wearing like Brazilian hair or anything like that, because I have my values and my convictions concerning that. So it'll be hard for me to, sometimes I see it and I'm like, oh, that person looks nice, and I know it's because of their lace front or whatever, but it would never push me to want to get that, because my value system or the way we've decided to live and run our family is more centered towards family. So then you find that our keeping up with the Joneses would be more
to be family oriented.
For example, I'm constantly trying to find new ideas and new ways to educate our children at home. If I was going to want to keep up with the Joneses in any area, it would be trying to be a better mom, be a better wife, be a better Christian.
It reminds me of a conversation I was having with who recently and stuff, and he was going on about his children, how they're this, how they're that, and everything and stuff like that. Normally, I'm quite okay with that. Like, well done. I'm proud to hear that. Sitting with you in church, listening to the sermon and everything. I'm like, and I find myself trying to say, I do this too. I'm like this too. This is what I do with my children. My children can do ABC. My children can do what a 4-year-old can do. I find myself wanting to also prove is the word. Prove is the word. And afterward, you realize you're entering an unnecessary competition. Why can't you be comfortable with your success that nobody will know about?
Like I always say to my husband, no one cares about you working out. You can explain it all you want, but no one's going to listen to your working out until they see the result. We don't want to know that 2 plus 2. We want to know what happens after the equal. When we see the equal, then it's okay, how did you do it? Do you understand?
Absolutely. So that's one of the ways. And if I was to bring a scripture into it, we read of the story of John, when these Pharisees send people and say, we hear you're doing A, B, C, and D, you're doing all this stuff. Who are you? Sort of thing. And it's very easy to, if you don't know who you are, you have been doing everything and stuff. Because, for example, what John was doing, they try to say, are you Elijah? Are you this? Are you that? Are you the other person? Meaning, what you have or what you're doing looks like what the next door neighbor also have, and things like that. And if you hadn't achieved what you have as an individual, when they come and say, are you Jones? You're going to be susceptible to say yes. And stuff like that. And also, you won't be able to really train other people to have what you have.
Yeah, that's so true.
So, and like John answered them, I'm not that person, I'm just a voice. So, that, for me, it's like, set your own mark. and be comfortable with it. Might not be popular, but at least make your family embrace it.
I
So
completely
yeah,
agree
that sets me free. Was it about 2 years ago or something like that? I'm doing my own thing, and if I come across as arrogant as a result, well.
Do you think patience has anything to do with it? Because sometimes I feel like there's some things that I really wanted in the beginning that if God had given it to me then, I wouldn't have valued it and I wouldn't have looked after it.
Absolutely.
But in time, I'm having not only what I wanted, but what I wanted is coming to a better me, and the thing that I wanted is even better than what I wanted.
Absolutely.
For example, marriage. Like, I remember when, we first got together before we got married, like when we're courting, and it was almost like, other people, their spouse is taking them here, taking them there, buying them this, buying them that, and I'm thinking, well, man hasn't bought it, but it doesn't matter because God said, just keep going on that God said treadmill. And then one day you wake up and you're like, I'm actually not happy. Like, why don't I have?
Wake up and smell the coffee.
Do you remember the day, like, babe, I was like, I want English breakfast. I don't care. I want English breakfast. I don't want to be, one day it will happen, sort of thing. Because you need to process that lack inside of you.
Absolutely. Yes.
Because God's clearly gotten your attention with the Joneses. There's something about that thing about the Joneses that's caught your attention.
Absolutely.
So you can either be carnal and chase after it, or you can be spiritual. Yeah, you can be in denial and be like, oh no, I don't need it anyway. What do I need to do with a bigger car? I'm okay with a smaller car.
You're lying, and you might just go to hell for that.
Yeah, and you won't know when you're killing the Joneses in your heart, because God cares about what's in the heart as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think sometimes it's got to do with patience.
Patience, definitely.
And also take, that thing that you want, redeem it, give it to God.
Absolutely.
Because He'll give it back to you better if it's yours.
Well, the Bible does say that, I think it's in James, where it says, let patience have its full way. Let patience. I mean, when you think about it, why does patience need to have its full way? There must be a reason. I don't know what it is, but over time in my own life, we could tell that. I mean, recently we just went through patience. It's so difficult. It's just difficult.
Especially when you feel you have a need.
Yeah.
Not even a want, but a need.
It's very difficult to let patience have its way, but Bible says let it have its way. Like what you just said about the fact that you could see other people have it, and you can tell that there's something about that thing that drew your attention. For me, I see it as God making it clear to you that you can have that. You get what I'm trying to say? Like you can maintain that, but not now. And better still, if you have a good character, He can then prepare you to have it. Sort of things. I really do agree with that point. That patience is very key, and you can look at other people and realize, I like to wear a proper shirt. I would like to drive a nicer car. I would like to give my wife a full English breakfast in bed. Not rice 24/7 because it was the cheapest meal at the time. So yes, so that's one of the ways. I think the other thing for me is, which probably ties with my first one, I don't think you're better than me. Might be the richest earner in our lineage or whatever.
But you're human.
But you're actually not better than me. Because I lived most of my teenage life thinking other people were better. And I deferred to them. In church, deferred to them. At work, deferred to them. To the point that you start to ask, do you have brain? And people treat you like that without you knowing what. I thought I was just respecting other people and honoring them, but really you're just allowing other people to walk over you. So with the understanding that you're actually not better than me, it's not a fight. I'm not fighting like you're not better than me sort of thing. It's just it's a realization. You're human, and I'm human, and I've got something to add to this.
So yeah, we hope that was helpful.
Yep, so that's our opinion on catching up with the Joneses. If you peradventure think there's a Jones next to your house, take the good bits and leave it. Yeah. So don't live in denial. And like you said, just to round up, I don't know if there's anything else you want to say, but take everything to God in prayer. You want the car, God, I want the car. You want the job, just literally take it to make sure God knows how you feel.